howled outside, a mournful wail that sent shivers down my spine. I sat huddled by the fireplace, the flames casting flickering shadows on the walls. It was a dark and stormy night, the kind that gave birth to ghost stories and nightmares. I had always been drawn to the macabre, fascinated by tales of the supernatural. But tonight, I was about to experience a horror beyond my wildest imagination. As the clock struck midnight, a sudden chill swept through the room. I glanced around, feeling a presence that seemed to linger in the air. My heart pounded as I heard a faint tapping sound, almost like fingernails against glass. I tried to dismiss it as a figment of my imagination. The tapping grew louder and more persistent. Intrigued and unnerved, I followed the sound, my steps echoing in the empty hallway. It led me to the front door where I hesitated for a moment before opening it. To my surprise, I found no one there. The night was pitch black, the rain pelting down relentlessly. I was about to close the door when I saw a figure standing just beyond the reach of the porch light. The silhouette was hauntingly familiar. My breath caught in my throat as I realized who it was. My grandmother, who had passed away several years ago. My mind tried to reason that it was impossible, that I was merely seeing things. The apparition seemed so real, so tangible. "Grandma," I whispered, my voice trembling. "Was that really you?" The figure didn't respond, but a melancholic smile seemed to form on her translucent face. I reached out hesitantly and my hand passed through her, confirming that she was nothing but a ghostly vision. As I pulled back, the atmosphere grew heavy with sorrow, a profound sense of loss. It was as if the veil between the living and the dead had been lifted. The departed were now walking among us. The tapping sound returned. I realized it was not just one spirit, but many, each one trying to communicate with me. Overwhelmed, I retreated back into the house, closing the door firmly. I could feel the weight of their presence, their silent pleas for acknowledgement, for closure. What did they want from me? Why were they reaching out now after so many years? As the night wore on, the tapping grew louder and more insistent. It echoed through the house as if the spirits were banging on the walls, demanding to be heard. I was paralyzed with fear, unsure of how to respond to this otherworldly visitation. Then, I remembered the old Ouija board stored in the attic, a relic from my teenage years when I dabbled in the occult. It had always been a source of fascination and fear. Now, it might hold the key to understanding the spirit's message. Summoning my courage, I climbed up to the attic and retrieved the Ouija board. I set it up in the living room, my heart pounding in my chest. Taking a deep breath, I placed my trembling fingers on the planchette and asked, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The planchette moved slowly at first, spelling out letters and forming words. The spirits identified themselves as lost souls trapped between worlds, seeking closure and release from their earthly tethers. They had come calling on this fateful night, drawn to my affinity for the supernatural, hoping that I could help them find peace. Fear mingled with sympathy as I listened to their sorrowful tale. They spoke of unfinished business, of regrets and unfulfilled desires that bound them to this realm. They needed someone to hear their stories, to acknowledge their existence, to assist them in finding the path to the afterlife. Through tears and trepidation, I promised to help them in any way I could. They had chosen me for a reason. I couldn't turn my back on their plea for aid. The planchette moved with more urgency now, guiding me to write down their stories, to relay their messages to the living world. For days and nights, I became a vessel for the voices of the dead, transcribed their tales, capturing their emotions and experiences in writing. Each night, as the clock struck midnight, they would come calling, their presence growing stronger with each passing moment. It was an emotionally draining and haunting experience. I couldn't abandon them. They had entrusted me with their final wishes. I was determined to fulfill my promise. As I delved deeper into their stories, I began to uncover dark secrets and tragic histories. One spirit, a young woman who had died under mysterious circumstances, revealed the identity of her killer. Another, an old man, longed for his family's forgiveness for past misdeeds. There were countless others, each with their own regrets and yearnings. With the help of a local medium, I organized a gathering at the house, inviting the spirit's living descendants and loved ones. The medium conveyed their messages, bringing both tears and closure to the living. It was a night of catharsis and healing, as the spirits finally found the peace they had been seeking. As the sun rose on that final morning, the presence of the spirits faded, their ethereal forms dissolving into the light. The house felt emptier, but also lighter, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. I kept the Ouija board, a reminder of the extraordinary journey I had embarked upon. The experience had forever changed me, deepening my appreciation for the mysteries of life and death. I also knew that the dead could come calling again. When they did, I would be ready to listen, to lend a compassionate ear to those lost souls seeking solace in the living world.